So, hello, I'm Phil Corbell, co-founder and director of advocacy of the Carbon Literacy Project, and welcome to this briefing on 2024's Carbon Literacy Action Day. Let's get into a little bit of introductions, if I may, to see who's here. Oh, yes, the housekeeping. Never forget the housekeeping. The fire exits. No, we're not doing fire. Sorry, no fire exits. What have we got going on by way of housekeeping? Please keep yourself muted if that's not being done for you. If you do have questions, please use the Q&A button at the bottom and we'll address those questions as they come in. We are recording, and should you need the recording, we should be able to give you access to that if you need. And yeah, as I mentioned, if you have questions, please put them into the Q&A. We'll try to respond as we go if we're not going to address the issues you raise in the webinar. So let's have a look at who's involved here. Yep, that bloke there, you've met him already. But my colleagues, Chloe, Grace, and Lily, you'll be hearing from in a bit, before 2 o'clock. And absolutely essential behind the scenes, we have Sojan and Fiona making sure that we stay on air, as it were. So let's crack on. The stars of the show, it has to be said, are our 3 guest speakers who've done amazing stuff with Carbon Literacy Action Day last year. You'll be hearing from them about how they did what they did last year, why they are catalysts, and why we think what they did was so amazing. More of them in the second half. And what else are we going to do? So, yep, we're going to hopefully move things on. Just have a little look at what's going on in the world of carbon literacy. A bit about what's been going on with, we're going to keep calling this CLAD now. Sorry for the abbreviation, but let's call it CLAD because it's less of a mouthful even. So we'll be looking at that and what's been going on around the world, who can get involved, why you should get involved, how do you join in, how to go about it, and trying to get a bit of support, and what we're going to do for our Catalyst Award this year as well with that very, very exciting theme. There is a bit of funding. Don't get too excited. It's not too much, but we've got a bit of funding for people for whom resourcing this might be a bit of an issue too. And we're going to wrap up with those guest speakers and a Q&A at the end. So let's just look at what we've been up to. That's our latest number slide. Sorry, before I jump into this, folks, if you are new to carbon literacy, the one thing we don't have time for today is to actually explain the nuts and bolts of what carbon literacy is. So please get in touch with us through any channels and we can give you that grounding. Just know that we're a Manchester-based charity that enable the use of our adaptable framework for a day's worth of climate action training for your people, whoever your people are, wherever they are. These are some figures from us from a week or 2 ago. So looking at those numbers, I'm pretty sure that we'll be within a hair's breadth of certifying 94,000 people. Those numbers are changing crazily rapidly. And yeah, have a look at that. If you need to ask questions on what lies behind some of these numbers, again, please get in touch. But that impact at the bottom right, this is about enabling people to do their best thing. I don't even like to call this climate education. This is climate action training, and that's what it's all about, having a tangible impact is the crucial thing about what we do. And whilst we are a relatively small organization, what you're looking at there represents our community of practice, the people out there who are doing this and who can help you get on with your carbon literacy training wherever you're doing it. So these represent a whole bunch of people that be happy to enable you to explore what they've been up to. Very generous with their time and enthusiastic to tell you what they've been up to, which is probably enough of an overview of what carbon literacy is. So I'm going to hand over to Chloe now to take you through the next section. Over to you, Chloe.
Thanks, Phil. And hi, everyone. Just a quick introduction on my side. So I am the CLAD coordinator, Carbon Literacy Action Day coordinator and project advocate. So yes, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what is CLAD and how you can take part, and hopefully give you a little bit more understanding about yes, how you can really maximize your impact and contribute this year. So CLAD, it's an annual event. It's a climate, I was going to say climate education and action, but I take it back now, Phil, it's climate action. So it's also a crucial moment and unique day in the carbon literacy calendar, where we see individuals, communities, organizations coming together to make a difference and receive or deliver carbon literacy training. It's the first climate education and action day of its kind, and you will experience essentially for the first time the most people getting climate education in one day simultaneously. We're talking about thousands of people now since last year, where we had over 2,000 actually participating. But yes, essentially anyone can take part. It's very much people from all walks of lives across different countries and sectors coming together to make a difference and become certified or deliver a carbon literacy training. This year, it's taking place on the 14th of November. So every year is coinciding with the United Nations COP conference. And this year, so we are doing this on the 14th of November. We've done things slightly differently. We're extending it to 4 days, so it's ending on the 14th. However, any training which will be ending between the 11th and the 14th will qualify for CLAD this year. Sorry, so yeah, on the 14th of November, we're expecting it to be a record-breaking day where hopefully we have even more people taking part. So we're talking about over 2,000 people. And yeah, that's pretty much everything really that you need to know in terms of what is CLAD. I will go on to the next CLAD and talk to you a little bit about our results to date. So as I explained, we've really had a groundbreaking result last year. Over 225 organizations took part, 75 training providers, 2,300 individuals, and 28 sectors across 12 nations. So that was 5 times more than in 2022 and in 2021. So really, really happy with the success of CLAD so far, and we really want to thank everyone who contributed so far. So beyond the fact that CLAD, obviously participation numbers were amazing, CLAD is also about the pledges. So, you know, once you have attended a carbon literacy training, every individual's taken 2 pledges, 1 individual pledges and 1 group pledges. So after CLAD last year, we recorded 4,606 climate action pledges, who estimated to save 6,000 tons of carbon, of CO2. So it's incredible. We're really happy. And this actually led us to earn a recognition. So we've been shortlisted for the UK Green Business Award as a behavior CLAD to be the behavioral change campaign of the year. So yes, we should hear more in June about who is the finalist. So we can wait to hear about this. But yeah, just really, really great, really great recognition. One of the reasons behind this is the fact that CLAD actually helped overcoming barriers, which includes essentially giving a clear direction amongst overwhelming amount of information in climate change. CLAD and carbon literacy training helps alleviating feelings of helplessness, and apathy. Yeah, it's just a really positive event where we also got a really diverse audience, and it really fostered that collective, commitment to carbon reduction and climate action. So just as Phil already kind of covered the fact that we have gone a long way, obviously, with the project starting 15 years ago, and we've got nearly 94,000 certified learners now. But I just wanted to just kind of illustrate this with this map, because carbon literacy training is now across the 7th continent, and that's just something amazing to talk about. With a training happening in Antarctica now with the British Antarctica Survey, which is fantastic. But yeah, so I've just kind of selected a few initiatives that happened for CLAD last year and across different regions of the world. So to start with Peru, we had a carbon literacy first in Peru last year with Fab Lab Lima, who proudly kickstarted their journey. They essentially joined forces for the Action Day, aiming to inspire Peruvian citizens, and particularly they want to train ancestral communities to embrace sustainability in their daily lives. So we also had a training all the way on the other side of the world in Perth in Australia with Edith Cowan University. So they were actually one of the CLAD Catalyst Award winner, and they were pioneering in terms of training carbon literacy for a state government department. So through the carbon literacy training, the Department of Water and Environmental Regulation empowered the learners who are basically responsible for climate change policy. They empowered them with the knowledge to influence change in their roles. So that was really amazing initiative. All the way back to America in San Diego, we had a non-profit organization in good company who took a bold step to deliver carbon literacy training to their community. And they have a broader mission to increase public awareness about climate change, and decided that carbon literacy was the right step for them. And in Canada, in Ontario, Conestoga College School of Business. So they've done an amazing initiative as well last year with 60 staff members and students trained on the day. And it was really great actually to have them at 5 p.m. joining us for the World Tour webinar with the full room of learners still. But yeah, essentially the college is preparing all their future business leaders to address sustainability challenges with carbon literacy. So yeah, this is very much a non-exclusive list, but it's just a really nice way to kind of understand a little bit what's happening and where you could take a carbon literacy journey this year. And yeah, so let's take a moment as well to just watch a video which showcase inspiring individuals and organizations all around the world engaging with carbon literacy training.
Hi, my name is Carmen Valenzuela, and I'm glad to be joining Carbon Literacy Project on the Carbon Literacy Action Day in the context of COP26. I am from Guatemala, and I will be delivering the first carbon literacy training in Latin America. After being trained myself, I recognize the value of being carbon literate and how it enables people to take action. I decided that I wanted to bring this knowledge into my own country and my context. I started to look for opportunities to contextualize this training, and I decided to start my own company, my startup that is called Hablemos de Futuros, to be able to train people. We know that this training is an important milestone into expanding what carbon literacy is and where it is being delivered. And that's why we wanted to join the Carbon Literacy Action Day, to be part of this big movement of change makers across the globe.
A friend of mine brought carbon literacy to me one day and I thought it was great. We needed something like this that gives people a basic understanding of carbon and sustainability and the things they can do to reduce their carbon footprint. We started to train a few people, and the more people we trained, the more I realized how much I'd taken for granted that everyone understood the magnitude of this challenge. I was so wrong. And so I've learned that carbon literacy training is a great way to not only get people to understand, but to arm them with the tools that they need, that we all need to act. Being a carbon literacy trainer gives me a sense of hope. You can spend so much time just focusing on the challenges and looking at all of the problems, and truly, it can be really daunting. I just found that being part of carbon literacy was a much healthier way of working for me. I get to have conversations with like-minded people and to focus on the solutions to these challenges.
The British Embassy Zagreb team first got to know the carbon literacy team through a project the embassy was funding, and we quickly realized we could do something more together and make the British Embassy Zagreb the first carbon literate embassy. So the whole journey started with a group of brave individuals last summer who took the training and obtained their certificates. We then worked with the carbon literacy team to adjust the educational materials to our needs, and we then organized the education for the whole of Embassy last October. The educational materials are excellent, and in the end, I felt really good about teaching others something that I have learned. Also, the day of education was really inspiring. We had some really good discussions, and I think everyone felt really happy in the end of the day.
If there was any organisation for whom, and I hate to say this, but for whom carbon literacy might not be necessary, wouldn't it be you?
It would be lovely to think that, Phil. However, I think whilst we have a lot of people who are very well informed on carbon and who even go as far as to inform the IPCC of the current situation in the poles, and our research is used for those ends. It is different when it comes to actually translating what needs to happen to our lifestyles and to the way we operate. It's also different when it comes to even being able to communicate about carbon on a level that everyone can understand. So whilst we have some incredible scientists within BAS who definitely understand the severity of the climate crisis, I would say there's still a lot to learn in terms of transmitting that information to others, from actually changing our own way of working and our own habits and lifestyles. So I think the carbon literacy course is actually quite valuable across the board.
Right, thank you, Fiona, for the video. Amazing. And yes, so we're back now to talk about who can actually get involved with CLAD. So you can take part as an individual. Essentially, that means that you will receive carbon literacy training on the day. There will be a lot of courses available across various different sector and kind of specific. From July, we will have the CLAD webpage, where you'll be able to essentially to just go and book in for a course for the action day. You can also take part as an organization and trainers, which are trainers with an accredited course. So if you're already essentially working with us, it's very easy as long as you schedule one of your training to happen between the 11th and the 14th of November. Essentially, that will qualify for CLAD. The other way that you can be involved is as a new organization and new trainers. So, you know, you can just express your interest that you want to be involved with the carbon literacy project for CLAD, and we will work to get you as essentially set up for the action day, make sure that you have access to the correct courses and resources, or develop your own course as well within the time frame. So yeah, please do get in touch as soon as possible, and that way we can really make sure that we support you to do something for November. But yeah, basically everyone can take part in CLAD at different levels. So why to take part in the Action Day? Well, it's just a great way to be involved in an exciting event, which is coinciding with COP29 happening in Azerbaijan this year. It presents you with a rare chance to initiate enthusiasm and engagement around carbon literacy within your community or within your organization as well. It's a good way to take immediate and impactful steps to combat climate change by getting involved with CLAD. You will also experience the richness and diversity of carbon literacy, with individuals from various backgrounds and countries uniting on this day to complete the carbon literacy training. And you can also take part in CLAD to seize the opportunity to engage hard to reach groups. That can be like senior leadership teams, for example, and demonstrate your dedication to climate change by participating. And finally, every participant receives a distinctive certificate which acknowledges the dedication to making a positive difference. And we've got an example of that certificate here. So how do you join the Action Day? So we've started to circulate a JOT form. So you just simply, if you have already an accredited course, you just need to simply sign up to the JOT form at this stage, and that will you will receive the roadmap, where essentially the roadmap is a comprehensive guide that gives you everything, every steps that you need to take. And we explain a bit more details about the promotional support we give as well. We'll go down to explain this in a bit more details in a few slides as well. And then yes, it's about starting to plan your training for the day. If you don't have an accredited course and you want to join in, it's very much the same. You need to register via the JOT form, and then a member of the team will be in touch with you, and we will help you accessing the correct carbon literacy course or developing a course for your audience, which is relevant. And you will, again, kind of read through the roadmap, talk to a team. And if you get stuck in, we have a dedicated inbox, which is clad@carbonliteracy.com. Grace, I think, will be sharing this with you in the chat box in a few minutes. So yeah, feel free to get in touch with us. We're really much here to support you until up to the Action Day. Once you confirm your participation, just let us know your plans. So we've got, we will be sending you later down the line a form which explain exactly what you want to do, how many people you want to train, which courses you might want to access and deliver on the day. And we will share with you a communication pack. So this will be a communication pack where you have ready-made materials, and you can obviously use them to promote your training or promote the fact that you're taking part in CLAD as an individual. And yes, just a reminder that the Action Day will be held on the 14th of November. So in terms of how you can plan your training, so you can run an open course. So if you're a training provider, an open course means that it will be available for individuals or a specific audience to joining. So it will be, advertised on our website, and people who wish to sign up will be able to sign up directly via a link, a booking link. You can also deliver a course within an organization. So if you are an organization or a training provider that might act as a consultant for an organization, you can deliver directly in-house. And as well, if you are a facilitator, you can get involved with CLAD by supporting a course delivery if you want to gain experience to become, a carbon literacy trainer. Yeah, feel free to be involved as a facilitator. We always need, as many people to facilitate like bigger initiatives sometimes. So please let us know if that's what you would like to do. And then on the day, so all training needs to finish at or before midnight in your local time between the 11th and 14th of December. And we will have the virtual world tour, which is the world tour that I think Phil and myself mentioned earlier, where we've got everyone who took part in CLAD joining and kind of sharing about their experience. And yeah, it's just a really, really great to see all the amazing initiative happening on the day. So that is everything about how you can plan your day for CLAD. And just about a few things about why you might want to consider essentially. So your audience, that's really important as one of the core elements of the carbon literacy frameworks is about peer-to-peer delivery. So, we want to make sure that the audience you'll be delivering to, it's an audience and a sector that you have experience in and that is relevant and that the content of the course is relevant for them. You need to consider how you will train, if that's going to be online or in a hybrid version or in person, like I know a lot of people did last year, some amazing kind of mass training in North Somerset. I think they had over 300 people in the same venue for CLAD, which was really fantastic from like different sector. So that was brilliant. And one of the other thing that you want to consider is how to promote your course. So, which community, which networks can you tap into to obviously make sure that you've got a really good uptake on your course and that your course is impactful. And yes, please think big and make sure that you consider your sphere of influence, how you can maximize your impact. CLAD is very much about collaboration as well. So, if you want to partner with an organization or a different sector and create something unique for the Action Day, we really encourage this as well. So yeah, please, if you do have any questions, make sure that you pop them in your Q&A and then we can answer them at the end. Or I know the team is actively working, looking at them right now as well and trying to answer the one that you know about. And I would just pass on now to Grace, which will be covering the promotional support.
Thanks, Chloe. Hi, everyone. I'm Grace and I'm the CLAD officer. So I'll be supporting Chloe with the delivery of CLAD this year. So we wanted to bring your awareness to the promotional support that we can offer to you. So firstly, the communications pack. Every year we create a communications pack, and this is shared with all training providers once they've confirmed that they'll be taking part in CLAD for the year. So this year we are anticipating that we can send out the communications pack to all confirmed attendees from late June onwards. So this will help organisations share that they're participating in CLAD both internally and externally, and it includes a number of things. So the CLAD international logos, social media graphics, there's an example of that on the bottom of this slide. Training photos, a communications guide with copy for various platforms. So that includes if you want to include it in a newsletter, on your website, social media platforms, and so on. There's a press release template if you want to publish that you're participating in CLAD this year, and brand brand guidelines as well, which is really important just to make sure that you're using our logo correctly and capitalizing letters correctly and so on. And yeah, just to reiterate, this is going to be sent to all training providers once they've confirmed that they are taking part in CLAD this year. Cool. So we also can help promote open training courses. So we can list your course on our Action Day webpage and promote it accordingly via our social media channels. So this can be a really helpful way to increase the visibility of any open course and help further the reach. So once your booking page is live, please do send this to us along with any high quality photos if you have any, just to support the promotion of your course. You can email it to media@carbonliteracy.com to have your course featured on our website, and the sooner that your course has a bookable link, then the sooner we are able to share it and help it get as much visibility as possible. So as well as having the opportunity to be listed on our events page, we can also provide paid social media adverts at no cost to the trainer, and Patagonia very kindly fund this. And the middle image shows how that will look on our website. And in addition to all of that, all open courses that are offered on CLAD will be shared to the Carbon Literacy Project's audience and via our website and also our social media platforms. Cool. So this year's theme for the CLAD Catalyst Award is climate inclusion. So this year we are encouraging people to extend beyond their typical community group and involve those who are normally left out of the climate movement, as we really want people to inspire intersectional action this year. So we would really like to encourage you to think about whether there are any people in your wider community beyond your immediate peers who might not normally be able to access the training, and consider how you can include them in your efforts with CLAD this year. And the reason that we are doing this is just because to tackle climate change at the rate at which the science demands from us, we do need to continue educating people all across the globe at speed and ensure that nobody is left behind. So yeah, we really are encouraging you to adopt a more inclusive approach to carbon literacy so your training can have a high long-term impact in the face of the climate crisis. And you may be wondering, how can you inspire climate inclusion? We have thought of a couple of points. We appreciate it will look different for every organisation. But just as a bit of a starter, the first point we have is community collaboration. So yeah, just extend beyond your normal group and inspire those who you may not typically engage with, and just ensure that people are included. And the second point is global engagement, so pairing with another nation to run a course. For example, if your organisation is part of an international chain or has a parent company, then you can work with them to bring diverse voices to the table. Like if you work in a company with offices across the globe, one thing you can be mindful of is if your training cohort is representative of that. And hopefully that is helpful. And I'm going to hand over to Lily now.
Thanks, Grace. Hi, everyone. I'm Lily. I am the Carbon Literacy Project's Community Fund Coordinator. And today I'll just give you a quick overview of the community pot and how we'll be using the pot to support those taking part in CLAD this year. Now, carbon literacy is for everyone, but access to training can vary globally, especially due to differences in relative spending power. The Community Pot is our new fund that aims to improve access to carbon literacy for groups who might otherwise struggle to afford the costs associated with initiating training. And the pot has been created from contributions from organisations that currently deliver and receive carbon literacy training and pay enhanced rates for their certificate applications. For this round, we've also received additional funding via our Empower Global Communities campaign as part of the Big Gives Green Match Fund. And every round we will have a different focus, And due to the connection between the community part's goals and CLAD's climate inclusion theme, I'm really excited to share that we'll be using the latest round of community part funding to support communities in the Global South. We have £25,000 worth of funded services available for communities. Applications will be opening on the 29th of May at 12 p.m. and they will stay open until the end of June. We expect the decisions will probably be all made by the end of July, giving plenty of time for you to get your initiatives ready in time for CLAD. And to hear more about the applications, the funded services on offer, or anything else related to the community pot, then do sign up to our Q&A. That's at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, the 11th of June. Within the Global South, we will be, and that's the email address, that will be coming up later. Within the Global South, we will be intending for the funds to reach small community groups with limited or no funds, charities and not-for-profits with less than £25,000 worth or the equivalent of in funding, groups who are underrepresented and marginalised and usually left out of the climate action. And we also require that, also publicly funded schools. We also require that we can communicate with the applicant leads in English, although of course you can deliver your course in any language. And in terms of what these services are, the £25,000 can go towards criteria checking costs to get your course accredited. It will go towards certificate application costs to make sure that you can certify your learners. And you will also be able to access our toolkits and shareable courses at no extra cost to help you with course creation. Unfortunately, we won't be able to cover trainer time and venue hire because we've made the decision to distribute the fund as as funded services rather than money. This is so that we don't have to include the requirement of having a bank account in order to apply for the fund, as otherwise this might exclude lots of groups which otherwise we could support. But we do have a funding for you page, which is linked on our Community Pot website with lots of additional funding sources that may be able to help you support your project a little bit further. So just to summarise and reiterate what's on offer, we've got the £25,000 worth of funded services, applications opening on the 29th of May, and the Q&A is on the 11th of June. The Q&A link and the website link will be circulated after today's webinar. And here you can find application guidance, the application form, link to the funding for you page, and also the Q&A sign-up link. If you are unable to make the Q&A, then please feel free to submit questions to the email address just below. So that's communityfund@carbonliteracy.com. And I will answer those during the session, which will be recorded and it will be uploaded to the website. So that's all for me for now on the community part. Thank you very much. And hopefully I'll see some of you in a few weeks' time at the Q&A. I'll now pass over to Phil, I believe.
Indeed. Thanks so much, Lily. That's just given you this, there's so much to pack in here. So please, if the recording doesn't suffice, if your notes don't suffice, obviously, please get in touch. We're absolutely here to help. Before we talk to our guests, just to reiterate, this thing we do at about 5 UK time on the day is this broadcast where we try to reach as many people involved in the project as possible. It's a hell of a thing. If you ever want to get a flavor of carbon literacy in a 90-minute, slightly manic webinar, it's a real thing. So yes, let's crack on and hear to people who have been doing this. Meanwhile, in Barnsley, Sasha, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you see
That's
me?
great.
Can you hear me?
Marvelous. You've been doing amazing stuff there in Barnsley. Tell us a bit about what you've been doing. And would you like to use your slide or shall we just chat? It's entirely up to you.
Either's fine.
Let's carry on chatting, shall we?
Yeah, we can chat.
In that case, it's probably technically simpler. So set the scene. What do you do at Barnsley College? Who are your learners? Why carbon literacy?
Yeah, sure. So Yeah, I'm Sasha Beswick. I'm the sustainability lead for Barnsley College. We are an FE institution, obviously based in Barnsley, but we do have quite a large campus. We've got sites, I don't know if we have sites in Mansfield anymore, but we do also have sites in Shropshire. We aren't just a typical 16 to 18 college. We do have multiple tiers of education as well. So we've got quite a large student body, and with the kind of reintroduction of sustainability when I joined and kind of made a lot of noise, there was an opportunity there to bring in carbon literacy. So we got involved with CLAD last year after getting a very large cohort of our staff trained, and we trained a lot of our students.
Tell us what happened on the day quickly. You did loads and loads. So you did
Yeah,
loads.
on
You got
the day was huge.
Yeah.
So we obviously took part in CLAD on the Monday, and we extended our efforts for the rest of the week. And the reason for that was because it was actually CLAD on the Monday and Education Day at COP on the Friday. And being a college, not all of our students are in on the Monday, and we wanted to kind of build on the momentum of CLAD and make sure that the course was offered for the rest of the week as well. I believe we got the majority of our students that took part trained on CLAD, and that kind of motivated the rest of the students to kind of take part when they were in for the rest of the week. I can't remember the specific numbers of how many were certified, but I know we trained over 1,000 students in that week, and I think around 600 on CLAD. And I know that still students are further in their kind of bits that they missed if they had to leave early. I'm still getting emails about checking applications and all sorts.
I mean, how did it go down? You've got, you've described an incredibly diverse learner group, multiple subjects, multiple ages. What sort of reception did it get?
I think just putting the students aside for a second, I think it's really important to recognise that actually to take a day, let alone a week out of the academic calendar is a huge ask from our leadership team, and actually to have that top-down approach was really beneficial for us, and it enabled our students to take part. And for many of our students, they know what sustainability is, but they don't necessarily understand it. They don't understand what carbon is, and they hear these numbers and phrases all the time, and it can often impact on eco-anxiety and all sorts of things. So to be honest, I was a little bit worried about just pushing this onto our students, but we really did kind of make sure that whilst, oh, sorry, can you see me?
You've come back, yes.
I think
you've
the
got
power's
energy
just
saving,
on, but I'm on my laptop.
or it might be energy saving. Anyhow, we can still see you.
Yeah, maybe it might come back on in a second. Some of the
on.
lights have just gone off outside as well. So I'm not
interesting.
Sure
Go on, Sasha, you're still with us.
Yeah, so we actually made sure that whilst we were delivering carbon literacy, which is often very new to our students, we also accompanied that with kind of fun sessions that were happening in the breaks with the How Bad Are Bananas game and other activities, as well as wellbeing support as well for eco-anxiety. And overall, it was really well received. We had students that are still kind of going on with their pledges. We've launched a sustainability fund to make that happen. And also, I think some students took it way too far and became really strong activists in themselves. And I actually had to stop them with their pledge applications because they were getting a little bit too political. So that's what I like to see, okay. But didn't quite meet the criteria.
Yes, indeed. Sometimes you have to push the boundaries. Eh? So, quick, Sasha, this year, what's up your sleeve for this year?
So actually, we are having our CLAD working group meeting next week with the management team that were involved last year to kind of understand the mechanisms for how we're going to take part. But I think with last year, with the kind of bigger and bolder theme, I think we did that. Definitely for us, it was our first time taking part in something like this, and it was amazing, kind of the output. This year, I really want to focus on inclusion and making sure that obviously it's a theme for this year, but for us last year, it was quite evident that there's multiple levels of inclusion and intersectionality, especially in the Barnsley area. It's a very low economic area, and a lot of our students express the barriers to kind of engaging with climate action. So it's really important for me to make sure that those kind of avenues to taking climate action are really prevalent, and the spheres of influence section is very well known in the training. I think we did a great job of that last year. I want to enhance it this year.
Great. Really look forward to catching up with you, seeing how it all goes. So much more to say. Would love to talk further, but we can't. So if we can just head south, if that's all right, and go and talk to Lucy, isn't it? Down in and out there, London. Are you there? Hello. Yes. Good. Excellent.
Yes, can you hear me?
Good. Hi. So let's get you on screen as well if we can. There you are. Good. Excellent. Hi, Lucy. Again, should we just chat? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Unless you want the slides. But yes. Okay. I think that the rationale for no, let's not take that for granted. Why carbon literacy at Transport for London?
Well, I mean, it's a huge talking point at Transport for London at the moment, and I think has been for a while. Obviously, part of our role as a body of the Greater London Authority is to kind of help deliver the Mayor's transport strategy and also the London Environment Strategy. So a big part of that does have to, it just requires us to think about our kind of environmental impacts, our carbon footprint, and there's obviously it's a very multifaceted organisation, so there's so many different areas where we could look at kind of reducing carbon and making ourselves a little bit more efficient in that sense.
But let's just stun everybody with your numbers. I still feel stunned having heard them earlier. How many people have you trained at TfL?
I actually, off the top of my head, don't know the total number.
I mean, we can go with,
last year alone, we trained 4,044. And so I think we're sort of nearing 5,000 in total now. But I don't have the exact number.
Quite amazing. But so you've got this huge rollout going on. How does CLAD help you within that process?
Yeah, of course. So in 2023, that was actually the first time we'd taken part in CLAD. The year before, we'd started our training program the year before, but kind of weren't really in a place we were sort of still, properly setting things up and getting the ball rolling there. First time we properly got involved. And I think just with the theme, it was kind of an extra challenge for us. We were already at that point running daily courses, so we had at least one a day. On CLAD, we ran 3 courses that day and did a few extra bits as well. And then from then on up into the end of the financial year, we were running at least 2, sometimes 3 courses a day because we had a scorecard target to train 3,000 people in the last financial year. And obviously training over 4,000 meant that we smashed it. So really pleased with that. But on the day, we kind of, I think to kind of fit the bigger, bolder, better theme, we didn't want to just add a couple of courses when we were sort of already doing that daily. So we did also, at that point, all of our executive committee had sat the training and made their pledges earlier in the year. So we took the opportunity on CLAD to publicise their pledges. We'd had colleagues around the business asking kind of, what are senior leadership doing? How do we know they're taking it seriously, kind of thing. We'd publicised that on our staff intranet. And it just kind of gave a really good example for people to think about with their individual pledges. What's a good example that I could be doing within my own area of work? We also had a live Q&A session with our sustainability team answering questions on all things carbon literacy. So just to kind of, if people weren't really too sure what it's all about or what CLAD is, we could talk about that.
It's a real focus, wasn't it? So
No,
brilliant. Yeah. Sorry, I've just got to interrupt. It's just coming on my headpiece. No, actually on the screen there. I was saying that we thought we were getting close to 94,000 learners. We've just heard that we have certified officially 94,000 learners. So again, thank you for your contribution, everyone's contribution to that. So it's going, I think I'm going to have to do this. It's going like a train, or is it like a bus? Anyhow, sorry.
Electric bus.
What have you got in store for CLAD this year, if the planning's got that far?
Yeah, we're definitely looking to take part. Really excited to kind of try and stick to the theme of inclusion. We haven't got sort of solid concrete plans in place just yet, but it's something that we've already kind of started discussing as a team. And because we do have quite a big community of in-house volunteer trainers. So I think, yeah, we've got, or last year we had 60 active trainers and coordinators in each area as well. So, or yeah, just over 60. So yeah, it's something that the sustainability and corporate environment team and the kind of, yeah, our community of trainers and coordinators will work together to think of something exciting to do. But it was great hearing some of the examples of things that, yeah, you're thinking at the Carbon Literacy project that might be good ideas for it. Because yeah, I think we want to sort of think outside the box a little bit and connect with some people who maybe don't normally.
Maybe we take, I've got it. We're going to borrow a train on the Circle Line and use that as a classroom. Goes around.
Yeah, oh my God, imagine. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Why not? Why not? Lucy, thank you so much for all the support, all the brilliant training. I wish we had longer to talk, but time's against us. We are actually overrunning, sorry. So let's go westward to North Somerset and talk to Libby. Hi, Libby.
Hi, Phil. Can you hear me?
Yes, hearing you loud and clear. A chat or the slide? What's your preference?
Happy for a chat if you'd like.
Let's carry on with a chat then. Okay. Fantastic. So this is a very different thing. You've got the North Somerset, a very, very diverse patch with your urbanized areas and your beautiful rolling countryside and coast and everything. Carbon literacy, you've been pioneers. I mean, in the unofficial sense, you've absolutely been pioneers in making this work. Let's jump straight to the amazing thing you did last year.
Yeah, so obviously for Carbon Literacy Action Day last year, we had 175 learners in one room, which was no easy thing to manage, but it seemed to work out in the end. Yeah, we put a call out. We actually started last year in May. We started something, excuse me, called the Climate and Sustainability Partnership Meeting. So we do those every quarter. And we invite businesses and community people, basically anyone who's interested in seeing what we do, but also interested in kind of community work and what businesses are doing. So we thought for CLAD, we wanted to do something that was a bit around that. So kind of involving businesses, but also the voluntary and community sector. So we designed our own course based on the carbon literacy toolkits for SMEs and VCSEs. So they were our kind of primary audience, I guess. But we did have quite a lot of, we had such a massively diverse bunch of people in the audience in terms of the learners. But I think for us, which I suppose is quite similar to this, the theme for this year's Catalyst Award, is we wanted to ensure that people who were particularly volunteers at organisations who might not necessarily be able to go on carbon literacy normally were able to come along as well. So we had quite a few volunteers as well, community people within the community.
So you really did open the door to this beautiful big pavilion and say, come and do it. And for a whole day, it was spectacular to see the pictures. So looking forward, how are you rising to the Catalyst challenge around inclusion? What are your thoughts?
Well, we've started to actually roll out also. We actually had about 250 people register their interest in the course, but not everyone could come. So we've started rolling out business SMEs, particularly courses. So we did one in March, which was an online course, and we had an additional 15 learners from our business community. So I think in terms of the theme this year, we're probably just hopefully going to do something similar, including businesses. But I think for us last year, we really focused on SMEs because we know that in terms of costs, it can be a real barrier for them. So yeah, looking at SMEs and the voluntary sector as well. So I think we'll just carry on with that theme and hope to train more people.
Fantastic. Libby, again, I'd love to hear more, but that blooming clock keeps going round. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone that participated last year. I'm going to hand back to Chloe in 1 second, but one thing we didn't say, while they talk at COP, we act. That's the rationale for doing Carbon Literacy Action Day. So bear that in mind if you're trying to get people on board. This thing's going to be happening. It's going to be in the news. Everyone's talking climate. Well, let's do something. And that's what this is all about. Over to you, Chloe.
Thank you, Phil. And a big thank you to all the guest speakers. We really appreciate you coming here today. I think, Sasha, I know you're on annual leave as well, which is really, really kind of you to join us for this. So yeah, thank you all for joining us, guest speaker and attendees. And I hope you find this useful. I just want to quickly wrap up by reminding you that the next step really for you is to sign up to the JOT form for now, and then you will receive your roadmap, which will give you all the information that you need. And yes, good luck with planning your training or signing up for a CLAD course. We can wait really to see you again at the World Tour webinar on the 14th of November, 5 p.m. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you all again there. And yeah, if you have any question in the meantime, please contact us at clad@carbonliteracy.com. We have tried to cover quite a lot of the Q&A question coming up, but we are also going to stay a little bit more now if you want to discuss something something that's not been covered. We're happy to stay a bit longer. But yes, once again, thank you all and see you soon. Hopefully, yes, in November.
Thanks so much, everyone. And as Chloe was saying, we'll hang on online. We'll end the formal part of the event now. We'll hang on online to answer any questions via the Q&A, should that be useful. So many thanks and have fun. Enjoy. Can't wait to hear what you're up to. Thanks again.